Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got
Kyle McIntyre.
Kyle McIntyre.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the flesh, just not in the same room. Oh, yeah.
Nah, we're...
Because, I'm in Texas, so...
Yeah, just in case
I had to clear that up. I think there was some confusion.
In case you forgot. We're, switching up recording. We're actually recording using computers today. So a little nicer setup than
computers.
We're
using the future of technology.
It sounds so much better just for us recording it. I'm like, oh wow, I can actually hear you instead of like a phone.
Yeah.
So what we were doing was over just the phone, like the app that's on your iPhone or your smartphone, to where you actually have
the phone app.
We were using that.
It's called the phone. We were using that app.
Mm-hmm. Then we were recording into our portable Zoom recorders, and this time we're actually using our
portable cellular telephone device.
Exactly. So, just even talking to you sounds even better. So hopefully the podcast. Honestly, I don't think people could tell a difference before, but
no,
because we're so goddamn good.
Anyway. I have like compression on mine, so I'm like, one over here. You can't even hear that. But you will. You will.
All right.
I'm throwing a delay on this.
Yeah. There was a
definitely
every
word I say.
No, I guess I knew what you said. Probably something stupid.
It's like a mess of just like feedback and like looping back. It's like, that's Kyle's track.
Some dumb fucking shit is probably what you said. Anyway.
Probably better than having click on it though.
Yeah. Well, that's how you keep in time.
Yeah.
It was 60 BPM, I guess. Anyway, Kyle, what's new in your world? What's shaking? What's grooving? What is good?
A lot of stuff, actually. Thanks for asking. You know what? You don't ask me that enough on every episode in the beginning.
I only hear it once a week from you.
Yeah, you should ask me every damn day. So I got some stuff, so we talked about getting internet. So we're using that.
Yeah.
I have my computer hooked up to it. I got, some really fast internet. I'm plugged in to it direct.
Yeah, so it's not over Wi-Fi. Whereas before, I think you were at your uncle's place and he had satellite, so that's pretty much like dial-up.
Man, it was rough.
It was a rough one, I tell you.
If someone opened up like an Instagram, like a TikTok video,
you're like, oh shit!
some arm dances going on there.
Yeah. And
damn, dude.
But yeah, so you got this going on, and so we're able to use kind of your computer setup. So you have a pretty good computer and recording and
thanks. Actually,
audio setup.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you just said my computer's good.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, you're talking about how my computer's shit.
Yeah, no, I 100% was, because I'm like, you couldn't figure out how to record.
Because I couldn't figure out what makes my computer bad.
Exactly.
Not me, a complete idiot. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Brian, my computer is very smart. Me as a human being is incapable.
Yeah. Okay. I built that, so I'm the master. Not really.
You want you want to be smarter than the computer.
Yeah. The day that was it, the computer wore tennis shoes? Is that the movie? No. Anyways, so I got internet. Sorry, it's like stumbling over that one. It's sick, dude. That's pretty much it's fucking tight.
Yeah, I think you've had your computer, but you haven't been able to use it for gaming or watching probably TV as well as you could have. And now you're like, oh shit.
Now I'm doing all of it.
I could
drinking from the fire hose.
Yeah.
I'm I'm just staying till 3 o'clock.
So what do you do with your time? You watch Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah. Get him. Fucking murder those guys.
Watch Dr. D compilations. Like, yes, got him.
The same ones over.
Ones you've already seen. Like, yes, hell yeah,
yes,
hell
dude,
yeah.
I have watched this. He's so fucking funny.
And then you just watch
funny.
Proper
and
people.
Inspirational.
Proper people, and you're like, yeah, dude, I feel like I've been there.
Yeah. It's in HD now. So yeah, I've been playing video games actually. So that's been fun. Dude, crushing. Just absolutely. That's why I stayed up till 3 o'clock one night, because I was on such a roll. I was just blasting with a single shot rifle, a semi-automatic rifle, I should call it.
Yeah.
Just obliterating people. They didn't know what fucking hit them.
Just wrecking fools.
I had like 12 kill streak, like, which isn't like I mean, there's people that are better.
Shot.
Kill. No, I was doing like 12 kill streak. So like, 12 kills, no deaths. Just hitting people, like blindside them, crossing their eyes, just moving around, just blam.
So fast across their eyes.
So fast across their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess another piece of tech I got. I couldn't go on living without a TV.
Yeah.
Even though I have my computer, I was watching stuff on here. So I, since I have the internet now, I got a TV.
Uh-huh.
I got a 65-inch TV.
Still really fucking big.
Yeah, it's big. Same size as the one back home.
Yeah.
Back in San Diego. So, but I got the upgrade. I mean, it's the new one. I mean, that TV is like 2 years old now, I think.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
I know, what a fucking piece.
Hunk of shit.
Throw it out. Take a baseball bat to it. No, it's 65. It's an ultra high def TV from Samsung. I know. I was like, what does that even mean? But it's really nice, actually. It's sick. Dude, it's Wi-Fi compatible. I don't have to run any cables to it, and I have it right now. I have it set up in the bedroom, and the Wi-Fi is in the living room. So it's like hit a couple buttons, beep boop bop, and then
you just go beep boop beep, and you got TV right there on your phone. Yeah. Right.
It's amazing. It's pretty sick. It is huge though. Have it in the bedroom. It's so big that it's like, I don't have a wall that I can really put it on, so I have it on a dresser that I built, which is like an 8-drawer dresser, which is huge, and it barely fits on it. Like with the feet, I could only turn it like, slightly 10 degrees or whatever, just to kind of watch it a little better. But that dresser was a pain in the fucking ass, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's IKEA, as IKEA furniture is, it's kind of like the meme. It's like, oh man, IKEA sucks. It does. It really does.
Yeah. It's like the way it comes packed too. No, there's no packaging in it. Like nothing, no protective. It's just here's cardboard and thin paper.
Yeah.
In between all the parts. I'm like, this is bound to get just fucking fucked up. They don't care.
Yeah. If something gets loose in there, it's gonna scratch it up. It's get fucked.
Yeah.
But so we went to IKEA the other day when Carrie was still here. We went to IKEA and they were missing a piece out of there's 3 boxes, of course. Everything comes in 3 boxes.
Mm-hmm.
They're missing one, even though it said it was in stock. So they offered to ship it for free. And of course, like, oh yeah, we'll do that. And then you'll have to be here for when it gets delivered. I'm like, and like, you don't get to pick your day. You don't get to pick your time. It's just like, that's it. So I was working that day, and they didn't call the number we left. They they sent like an email. So it went to my wife's email, not the phone. They didn't call me.
Yeah.
So I missed the delivery, but they actually just left it on the doorstep. I'm like, oh, cool. They left it right out in the open, like next to the whatever. It's fine. It's fine. They still left it, but I didn't even know it was delivered. I was like fucking trying to get back to the house. I went in the house. I was doing stuff, and then I'm like, I walk out front. I'm like, it's right there. They just left it right there.
Yeah.
After they said that I had to be here, an 18-year-old had to be there to sign for it. It was hard to find an 18-year-old. I don't know any.
Yeah.
So
I was on Craigslist all day searching for 18-year-olds.
I was looking for teens all day.
I was
online.
looking for available teens all day
in my area.
Yeah.
Jeez, so stupid. But yeah,
they had to be willing and waiting.
So I got here, and I'm like, all right, let me build this thing. And it was, like I said, it was 3 boxes.
Yeah.
So you naturally grab the one that's marked 1. So I open it up, and there's the instructions. I'm like, great. So I'm looking through, and it's step 1 is basically open box 2.
Step 1, Step 1 of 82.
Yeah, dude. I think it was like close to 40 steps actually.
Jesus.
But it was a lot. It was a lot. So
I don't think I will ever buy another IKEA piece of furniture.
Yeah,
I bought.
It's actually really nice. It's not as nice, obviously, as it could be if it was made by hand or something, but that would be really expensive. Anyways, keep going. What were you saying?
Well, I mean, I have the Alex drawers, which is like the
You already gave it a name? That's cute.
Yeah. Alex.
Named after Copper Sound?
Yeah. Alex. Wink. So
That's like,
because he's really difficult to assemble.
does he have a Brian desk or something?
Yeah. It just falls apart on you. It can't handle the pressure.
Yeah, anything.
Anyways, it was like missing like a couple like screws. I'm like, okay. So I just like fixed it together, and it took forever. And it was like a little drawer. You've seen it, like it's that little like
it's like a nightstand, right? Or is it a little bit wider?
It's like think of like two nightstands or two like the size of a filing cabinet, but like two.
Yeah,
just stack it on top of each other. And it's cool. It's totally working for what I need it for, which is basically just my camera gear, lighting, cables, and just like some writing stuff and drawing. It stores it all great. And it's big enough to where you can't put too much shit in it, you know? You ever have like drawers that are so big? I'm like, cool, here's my just dumping everything into a drawer. Yeah.
It's like they're so deep that whatever you put in there just falls out the bottom. It's like it's too much weight. You're gonna max out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, if you have that much room, I'm gonna fill it, and it's probably gonna destroy that.
I like it because they're shallow drawers. Anyways, but if the thing is like a buddy of mine,
drawers aren't shallow.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom. Because I just shit in them.
You didn't even let it hang. I had to hit that on the fucking head.
No breathing room, just lay it in there.
A coworker of mine, he's moved recently, and he's like IKEA stuff. It's cool, but I'm like, you can't really move it more than once ever. You set it and build it, and you leave it. Like if you ever try to even move it to another room, it just starts like shook, like shaking like a tower. He's like, my son was
like a house of cards.
Oh yeah, he's like there was like a bookcase, and he kind of was like started playing with something that was on it. It started like shaking. He's like, oh fuck! He basically grabbed his son, tuck and rolled as the fucking thing kind of was like shaking over. He's like, oh my god, okay. One, you're going back in your pen, your little like playpen area, and this thing is going into the fucking garbage. And then he bought one at my work, which is like he's like, yeah, it's probably like 3 times the money, but it's like solid. Like I couldn't even move this thing. Like my son is not going to be able to move it. He's like,
dad mode initiated. Oh shit!
He basically he ran across the house, he grabbed his kid. He just basically like, oh shit, you're going back in your fucking you stay there. Like this thing, he basically like
until you're 18.
Yeah,
this is where you're.
He basically picked up the bookcase and threw it by the curb. He's like, this is fucking going in the garbage.
Yeah, no one should have this. You just destroy it.
Basically, like he's like, as I picked up the bookcase, it kind of just started falling apart. He's like, oh fuck, okay, never mind. It's like IKEA stuff is basically just, and then it starts falling apart. It basically
you can't
leave it in that room until if you have to move, just leave it with the house.
Yeah, just paint around it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is a freebie. You know how like when you moved into your place, they took stuff. You need to leave stuff.
It's your problem now.
Like, oh no, wait, this house comes with like cheap IKEA furniture. Yep.
Oh no.
Oh hell yeah. They put their socks in the drawer and it falls all the way through.
Well, bolting it to the wall is part of the structure of the piece.
Yeah. But yeah, IKEA stuff is cool, but it's also like, oh my god, is it hard to build? Like that drawer that I said, I'm stealing your valor here. That took me probably like you said 3 hours, and I'm like, man, this fuck. Yeah, and I'm missing pieces.
Yeah, dang. Yeah, I wasn't missing any pieces, fortunately.
Good,
but I started it, and then so this is what I was getting at is the first box has the instructions.
Yeah.
Okay, you look at what the parts list, and you go to step 1. And then you look through the parts in the first box. You're like, okay, none of these parts are on step 1. Okay, well, let me open up box 2 then. And lo and behold, there they are. So now I have 2 boxes open.
Yeah.
And they're big. They're like the size of like my desk back at, San Diego. It's like 64, they're like 40, maybe like 50-inch long.
Yeah.
By like 2 feet wide. So they're big. So you have to dedicate 2 spaces now for that. Plus the shit coming out of it, the packaging, the box opens up. Now it's double the size. Okay. Start assembling step 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Step 2. None of those parts are in the second box. They're in the third box. So now you have 3 boxes open. And I'm doing like damage control. I'm opening up shit, putting it everywhere.
Step 1, open up every fucking box.
Yeah. And then I'm going through parts because it's like, oh, well, the parts that you're looking for, like they're so non-specific. It's like the desk. So the inside of, some of the wood was unpainted. So it's like unfinished, right?
Yeah.
But it's like a grayish, there's nothing to indicate between the 2 different parts. Yeah. It's like, well, it's like a stained wood or whatever, like a gray stained wood, like whitewash. You can see some of the grain on it, but it's like nothing differentiates this part, which is black almost. It's like a dark gray, and this part, which is unfinished and wood. I'm like, why don't? So I had to guess. I'm like, okay, well, I'm using my fucking brain. I'm like, this is inside though. If I'm building this correctly, this is inside. So I'm using this piece, which is unfinished, versus this piece, which is gray. I'm like, fortunately, I got through all 40 steps, and it's fine. Like it wasn't missing anything. But it took me like 3.5 hours or something to do it. And it's just like an 8-drawer dresser. It's pretty damn big.
Yeah, anything with cam locks sucks.
Yeah, cam locks, man. And
it's like who decided that was the best option? They're just bolts.
Yeah, you could. Anyways, cam locks. You can over tighten them, or something's not aligned right.
Preach, sister.
Something's not aligned correctly.
Oh God,
you're fucked.
Exactly.
Like the top putting it on there. It's like I was bashing the top. I'm like, I had this on earlier, but then I had one piece wrong, so I had to take it all apart and put this back on, and now it's not aligned right.
Yeah,
there's a cam, there's a wooden dowel somewhere that's not aligned. It's like
anything with cam locks and dowels I could do without. That's how. I sometimes build furniture at my work.
Yeah,
we almost have nothing with that, but we had a new piece of like a new product that came in, like the desk or the table and like a cabinet came in, and it's like cam locks and a million pieces. Same buddy. He was the one who had to build it. He's like, is this fucking IKEA? What the fuck is this? He was so pissed. He's like, this took me 4 fucking hours. He's like, I'm so glad I got paid to do this. If I if I had to do this on my own, I'd be pissed.
Damn.
And I'm like, yeah. And almost everything else at my work is like big solid pieces, and you kind of just bolt them together. I'm like, okay, cool. It's like a bed or like a dresser. Is like dressers actually already come pre-built. But like a bed, I'm like, okay, you have like 4 big pieces. That's it.
We have like really nice stuff there that's like handmade, US made,
Yeah, and some stuff is like, even if it's
not in the US, it's still like super solid, and
or it's already like pre-built and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like, and then there's nothing. The thing is, like, IKEA is like a quarter of the price, if not like even a fifth or sixth.
Yeah,
that's
so obviously there's a reason why.
Mm-hmm. So they basically IKEA's like, here you go. I don't know, fucking, you want some fucking meatballs or something? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's like when you're
gonna need that energy, bitch.
Some was it meatballs with some berry sauce? It's like, oh, that sounds delicious. Thank you.
Never had it, but it doesn't sound too bad.
Actually, it's pretty damn good. Actually, I'm knocking it, and then like
that fucking shit is gross. Am I right? Wink.
Actually, I've never had it. Oh, it's delicious.
Holy fucking, that was a joke.
I'm driving there right now. Isn't it like 11:30 where you're at? I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna be there at the grand opening.
You can buy that stuff and bring it home with you.
Yeah, but they make it there for. I've always seen that. Like, IKEA is really weird. They're just like,
it is.
What the fuck is this? And then you go to a warehouse, like, what the fuck? What's going on here? I think I've only been there like with other people. I've never been on my own.
Dude, you get lost there so easily.
I'm like, I need an adult.
Well, okay, if you're with someone, you're walking, and they just turn a corner or like are behind something, you feel like you're lost like a child at Costco.
I think the last time
Holy shit.
I went there was with you and your wife.
Yeah.
I think she was buying something, and then you were also buying the podcast table, and then I was buying the Alex drawers.
Oh, we're all buying something.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and then we got my truck. I'm like, oh, let's load up my truck. And then like we turn a corner, Carrie's gone. I'm like,
that's how it always is.
How does she?
My mom is the same way in the supermarket. You're like, hey, mom, do you think we should get mom?
And I'm like,
gone.
I'm like,
gone.
How can I have like a tether on you? I'm like I'm holding onto your shirt. I'm like, where did she go?
With your thumb in your mouth.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
And Carrie's gone, and then we don't catch up with her until we're in the warehouse. We're like, what the
fuck? Yeah, where did you come from? Where did you go?
Where the fuck did you go?
Yeah, damn. Yeah, not Costco, but IKEA. I hate, actually. I don't like it at all. But it turned out right. I got it there. I mean, what I was gonna say also, it's like when you're working on your car, or when you're, especially with this shit, you're like, who the fuck engineered this? What kind of sick fucking asshole? Like why would you do that? Why would you add a screw here and not over here? Or
yeah,
you reinforce the front of the thing, but not the back. I'm like, this will be a nightmare to lift up and put in a truck. Like exactly what we were talking about earlier. It's like they reinforce certain spots. It's like this is gonna fall like a house of cards.
What is going to reinforce this dresser is the clothes that you put into it.
Yeah, the gravity force it straight down.
Yeah.
That's it. And wind on this thing? Nope.
Yeah.
Anyways, so still in my what's new. Okay, we're getting out of this. All right, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
I got I've been feeding an animal. I'm not sure what I've been feeding.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about those kittens. I was like, oh, I've been putting food out, and it's always gone in the morning. I'm like, I wonder what I'm feeding. So I got a trail camera.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when you'd put out like to see if there's deer out.
You were saying that. Did you find out what it was?
No, I haven't put it out yet. I'm just telling you, I'm one step closer to that edge.
And I'm about to break.
Now about
to bust.
So I got like not the cheapest one I could get, but it has like better like megapixel camera than most cameras back like a couple years ago. So we'll see.
I guess you could probably use it for security, right? Not just to find out whatever the beast is.
The beast, yeah. I swear to God, it's probably a skunk.
Yeah,
we'll see. It's a skunk season apparently.
Yeah,
drive around here.
That's skunk weed.
Yeah. Oh, someone's smoking weed. Nope, that's dead. That's a dead skunk on the road. Oh shit! When Carrie was here, I ran over a skunk.
Oh my God! I've never done that.
Hold on. So it was in the Vic too. So it was like low.
Yeah.
But I straddled that fucker and didn't hit him at all.
Yeah.
Like I went over them because it was one of those situations where like you hit the brakes and you're like, gotta do it. Just gotta Jesus take the wheel situation.
Jesus take the wheel. And he's like, run the fucker over.
Oh man. No, yeah.
I didn't die for his sins.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Is it Doug Chris take the wheel?
Yeah.
Dougie Chris.
And Doug Chris is like, run his ass over. I didn't die for it. He still says the same thing.
Same shit. No. I picture him with a cigar in his mouth when you say that. Run his ass over.
Get him. Fuck him up.
Get that bitch. Yeah, so I couldn't believe it. Went over it, no noise at all, didn't hit anything. I just like straddled it the best I could. No smell, nothing.
Really?
Didn't even, nothing.
Okay, that's good.
Super fortunate.
Maybe it was
super fortunate.
Pepe Le Pew situation.
Yeah.
The old,
I don't know.
The cat.
Yeah. Maybe it was a cat, yeah.
Had a little bit of a paint trail or whatever.
Yeah, so super fortunate. Didn't kill it. Didn't get blasted with that shit. Because I've been in a car before that's hit a skunk. It's not fun at all. You pull up to intersection, everyone's rolling their windows up. You're like, oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's us. We're the smelly car in the class.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah. You can use that camera for like security or something like that.
Yeah,
I guess.
And it's camouflage too.
Yeah. So nobody's like, oh my god, there's a camera there. It's like it's camouflage, but you have like a white house, but it's like army color.
yeah. It's like the olive drab.
Yeah. I'm like, oh man, I totally couldn't see that.
Yeah.
My sister at her place, her boyfriend has like cameras everywhere, and like I can't remember what the hell they are. It's like they cameras everywhere, pretty much, even inside the
ring
house.
camera.
Yeah, ring
something?
cameras, outside, inside, even.
USA. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So it was when I was up there staying with her, and then that's when I did the video and the podcast, like a couple months ago, probably several months ago now, with Aaron Racine. So
yeah,
Aaron picked me up in the morning, and then we went to I can't remember what lake it was, but so he was like, oh, I'll pick you up at your sister's place, and then we'll go and we can record the video for his van tour and then the podcast. And then, so it was like around like 9 a.m. or something like that. He picks me up, and then because my sister's boyfriend was at work, and then he texted her like early, like at 8 o'clock in the morning. He was like, there's a windowless white van with tinted windows in our driveway. What is that? What's going? And then what's up with that? And then my sister's like, oh, it's one of Brian's friends. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
He's
don't
like,
be
oh,
alarmed.
He's like, oh, okay, I guess
sweet.
That checks out.
Everyone needs friends.
A white windowless van parked in I think it was parked right up to the camera. He's like, well, am I seeing this right? Kevin is like, what the fuck is this in front of our house?
Yeah,
with the kid and the baby in the house. Like, what the fuck's going on with this? And she's like, oh, that's one of Brian's friends. Like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Don't be alarmed, anybody.
It's Brian. Dang. It's Brian's friend. Oh, okay, makes sense. Anyways, back to my
boys
day.
Boys will be boysing.
Yeah. A case of boys will be boysing. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. It's like he's like alarmed, and then he's like, "Oh, okay." Anyways,
back to my day.
Yeah.
All right, one more thing. One more thing. I think I did something I never thought I would ever do.
Okay.
And that's
what's his name?
His name is Crocs. I got a set of Crocs. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. So
how
I could
how are they?
Let's have
how are they actually?
Let's have a moment of silence actually for me.
I've heard they're comfy. Are they?
Yeah, they're fine. I haven't like put any miles on them. I haven't really walked around too much, but I got them.
You got to walk around like the store and go to like get your groceries in them.
Dude, so let's talk about my problems. Talk about my problems with Crocs. I always see that like
chefs.
The
mainstream media is always giving them bad
rap. Yes, there's a lot of misinformation about Crocs.
Yeah.
So I always see like chefs or people in kitchens wearing them, but I'm thinking like that those have no protection, guys. Like,
yeah,
because they say, oh, closed-toed shoes. Technically, you are right, but your heel is open. Like,
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Either a sock that you're wearing, or like your bare ass fucking nasty ankle, is out.
Are they like sandals? They feel like sandals, right?
Well, they're like sandals where, if the back strapped on, so the back, like you just pop it up, or you can have it in front, like it's like a mullet situation.
Yeah.
It's party in the front, business in the front, party in the back situation. But it's I don't know. I hate it because it's like if you spill something on your foot. Like with leather shoes, it would be fine.
Yeah.
Like if you spill like hot oil in a kitchen. But if you spill on that thing, it's gonna melt, and like your foot is in like a bucket.
Yeah.
Like, and there's holes. Like there's like anyways, that's what I hate about it. Or if you drop a knife,
well,
it's goes straight through something.
I guess I guess I'm not in kitchens all that much to notice, but
that's them. This is me. I got them because they look sick. And, it's so stupid. Is like I got them because the color. Actually, I got
tactical.
They're tan.
Yeah.
Oh man, they are tan, and I they're always goofy colors or like rainbow or I guess black. Or
there's the Guy Fieri ones.
Yeah,
with the flames and stuff.
Yeah, damn, I should have gotten those. But
I think those are the one that Scoop has from Tasteless Gentleman.
Oh man, I really got them because I was tired of getting my shoes wet. So like, go fishing, like I get my shoes wet.
Yeah,
I go out on the boat. My brother's friend's boat. My shoes get wet.
Yeah,
anytime going to swim, it's like Jesus, get some Crocs already.
Just get some Crocs.
No one ever said that. You know what you need to get? You need to get some Crocs. Those are sick.
Yeah. You gotta just wear those all the time, dude.
Yeah, I think I will. No, I will not. I'll only wear them, and mark my words.
Wear them at the
I'll
lake.
only wear them. Yeah, I'm gonna wear them at the lake, dude. You want to go to the lake, bro?
Let me get my Crocs.
Like in the skiing movies, like in the 80s, I'm going to the mountain. I'm going to the lake in my Crocs.
I'm going to Shabooms.
Shabooms. Yeah, so that's a really long what's new. But so I got some Crocs, dude. I got a TV, some internet, some furniture. Yeah. I'm living it up, dude. I'm just crushing it. What's your what's new? What do you got?
Let's see. Kind of not a whole lot what's new, I guess. But I guess I could probably stretch it out like you did.
Yeah. Pick something. I don't care.
Kind of a boring week, I guess. I did record the first episode of the Second Button podcast, which is the Seinfeld podcast that I'm doing with Andrew Walsh. So we got that one recorded. Still got to see like when we're gonna like release it. I still got to edit it and stuff like that. But went well so far, so good. And then we're kind of gonna figure out we're gonna do like a every other week kind of recording, but we still got to like find the fine details of like we're probably just gonna do Podbean like this, like Tone Jerks.
Right. So what? How are you guys laying it out? What's the format? You just talking about stuff?
Yeah, we're talking about like episode by episode.
Okay.
I mean, we did the first podcast was just the first episode, and us just riffing on it. So we're gonna see if we're gonna do a couple episodes at a time, whatever. We're still figuring that part out. I'm like, so far my job on that podcast is just to derail. I'm like, oh, what about this? I mean, yeah. So anyway, so this episode was about this, but let's talk about this instead. Kind of like tangents on an episode. We're not doing like this Masters of the Cinematic Universe, like breakdown with fucking clips and shit like that. Like, no.
So what symbolism do you think that Cosmo Kramer is using in this muffin stumps? Do you really think that? What do you think about muffin stumps?
Old Kramer likes to use certain words.
Oh yeah, with certain utensils. Okay, moving on.
I think I was on a Reddit. I don't know, something about just like decor.
You was on a Reddit?
I was on
subreddit, dude.
I was on a subreddit, and then I'd be on a subreddit.
Oh, geez, you're making me blush. Which subreddit? Rule 34? What are we talking about?
No. It was something about just like studio setups or whatever, battle stations, something like that. And somebody had a similar Kramer, the exact same poster that I had. And everybody's like, "Oh, Kramer's, it's funny, ha ha ha." And they're making Seinfeld, and somebody had to be like, "That fucking racist." I'm like, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if the Kramer is, but anyways, I'm like, yep, you're right.
The actor formerly known
how to suck the fucking fun out of that pose, but I'm like, yeah, you're correct, which is funny to say, whatever. But yeah, so I got that going, and then let's see, practicing with just in case. And so, since we did our live stream, realized that we gotta like tighten up vocals, meaning that like there's a lot of parts that Brian does background vocals that he might not need to do anymore that I could help with. Because there's parts where he's doing a lot of drum stuff. I'm like, oh, I can sing harmonies because there's
outsourcing the vocals.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, I'm here and I can do it. So working on that, and then I'm like, I almost do know vocals in that band, and I'm like thinking, oh wait, I should be able to add vocals, right? So.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you join a band, they have their own dynamic. You're just kind of like,
yeah, and
I'm going to play bass.
Exactly, and it's been
if they ask me to do vocals, then I will.
Yeah, it's been easy to just not add any vocals because I'm like, I'm just going to fucking play bass.
Yeah,
and that's fun. And then I'm like, oh shit, I could add a lot more to the band, and even if like they have the parts where they're both going, I can always add more too. So I'm like thinking, I'm like, okay, 3-part harmonies would be sick. So, I was thinking, I'm like, do you sing anymore? Just do you practice and play guitar and sing?
Oh no, I guess not like that.
When you're like not like, oh, I'm singing along to a song in a car.
But I like give it fucking hell.
So. Yeah, I'm in the shower. I'm like, I'm giving it hell, baby. I'm belting it out.
I think of lyrics, but I don't necessarily sing them. I guess.
Yeah, because I'm like I don't really sing if I'm not practicing, and then that's no way to be, honestly.
That ain't no way to be.
Exactly. I'm like if I'm not writing at the moment, if I'm like even just singing, like we started adding like if we wanted to add a cover, I'm like, oh, let's do Dramarama. That's the easiest cover in the world for, in my opinion, to do. And then, so I'm like, oh, I'll sing it and play bass. And I'm like, so at practice, I was singing it. And I'm like, oh, man, my throat is super, like, blown out now. Just singing that one song because I don't sing ever.
You blew the back out.
I blew my whole back out. And I'm like, I have there's no reason I don't sing and practice.
Yeah.
Because I have an acoustic. There's probably, like, at least 20 songs of like my own that I could sing, but I don't. I have like, there's no excuse because, but yeah, what are you gonna say?
I sing along to Tim Dillon. So like a podcast that I'm familiar with, I sing his lines,
Yeah.
So no, I do sing along, like you said, which somehow it's bad to do.
No, I'm just saying it's not the same thing as singing and practicing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
No,
I'm practicing my
Brian, because anybody who sings in their car is the exact same as somebody who's singing with a guitar.
All right, I think you're missing the point here. You're still singing, all right?
Uh-huh.
Just because I'm not singing my own material doesn't mean I'm like, oh, I'm working so much harder singing this line.
I know. It's like I sing along to every Magic Sword song.
Yeah, no,
an instrumental band,
Flatliners, or I was listening to, I was giving fucking Jimmy World hell, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like. I don't know. My voice, it's really hard for me to get breakup on my voice.
Uh-huh.
Like the crackly or like the gritty. It's like impossible. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I have. I don't know. How do you do it? Like, what do you do? Do you just sing the shit out and just like destroy your vocal cords? Like, how do people have that? Do they smoke a bunch of cigarettes?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably
the only reason.
I don't know. Merle Haggard fucking, I don't think he had a voice, just his name was Haggard.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah. That's just his name.
Never mind. You know what?
His voice was
back it up.
Haggard.
Back it up.
But I was even at practice, I was saying, I'm like, to just like to the room, to Brian and Adam. I'm like, oh man, I just don't sing on my own. Like I have no excuse because I have an acoustic. I could just play and just start singing. I don't need, I'm like, oh, okay. And I could even just start practicing the just in case songs to be like, even if I just do oohs and ahs or whatever, that'll fill up space, Yeah. And then some of them I had to ask him, like, what lyrics are you actually singing? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I can just like,
could you write those down, please?
Yeah. I could just make up shit. I'm like, what did you say? Pineapples on parade?
Hell yeah.
And I'll just make up shit. I'm like, but they're, as I was saying that, Brian's like, oh yeah, sometimes I can't do it. I'll sing along to like the radio sometimes, but I'm like, I just on my own. I don't practice singing and stuff like that. He's working and got the kid and shit like that. And then like Adam's like looked at both of us like with disgust. He's like, what the fuck? Why don't you? It's like you have every chance in the world to sing and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, and I instantly felt guilty. Like you gotta sing all the time, man. You have a gift.
Adam.
You have a gift and da-da-da. You gotta get the music out, man. It's the only way you could do it. I'm like, oh shit.
You gotta get the music out?
Something like, he didn't say that exactly. That kind of idea of like,
gotta shake your funk muscle.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, you have a gift of music and it's, da-da-da. You gotta get those words out. I'm like, fuck.
Gotta get a funky comedine going, guys. Oh,
but it's just like now, so that's my goal. It's like to start practicing and singing and stuff like that. But one thing I did notice this past week is like, it's probably something that's been like in the world for the past like 10 years, but actually utilizing this technology, it's wild nowadays. Wow. So like even just like in use for like a band. So we're all on iPhone or Apple or whatever. And then, so I think Brian had made a note in his iPhone about like a set list. And then he shared it with Adam and I. And so it's in our shared notes folder or whatever. And we could all like edit it in real time. And we can see who's editing where. And as we're moving the set around. Dang. And we're like looking at it like, whoa, this is crazy. And as I say this has probably been around for years. Maybe a decade.
Yeah.
And we're finally started to do it. Like, what the fuck?
Ray, one of our drummers, tried to get us to use Google Docs, which is similar to this.
Yeah. And that's something,
back to like an 09.
Yeah.
You guys use Google Docs? Huh? Google Documents.
And I don't think either one of us had smartphones even at that point.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
What? Google? You mean the internet porn search site?
Yeah, the porn search site. To find horny locals in my area.
And docs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really into that doctor stuff, but.
Yeah. What, deep fakes?
Oh, doctored? Or doctor.
Find celebrity.
Doctored porn.
Celebrity deep fakes. Rachel Ray deepfake.
Rachel Ray. Okay, you grab. Oh man, she's the worst.
You grab. Make sure your burgers got corn peppers. In
your
it.
burgers.
Your burgers got corn peppers.
She's like smoking a cigarette. I picture ashing it on the burger.
Yeah.
You flip it over. Make sure you don't flip it right time.
You gotta
My
get
black and mild. I gotta get a new black and
gotta
mild.
get it nice and smoky.
I gotta get the wine black and mild.
Yeah, but I mean, and stuff like that. I'm like, man, that's killer. And then even so I set an event in I think my calendar on my phone about like, okay, so because we were jumping around, like practice is at 6, it's at 8, it's at noon. Okay, it has to be at 10. And then I'm like, fuck, what day? And I scroll. I'm like, okay, 10 a.m. to 12 today. I'm like at this because we've been jumping around to like 3 different studios.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, which one? Okay, Mission Gorge, got it. Okay. And I put it in my phone. I'm like, oh, you can set like where the address is. I'm like, cool. And you can set the notification to let you know how
15
long
15 minutes, 30 minutes before.
It lets you know like drive time.
Oh yeah.
To get from wherever you are to that place at that time, it'll tell you how much time you need to leave in. Or like what time you need to leave.
Dang.
I'm like, whoa, technology is whoa. It's crazy nowadays. I'm like, and I'm sure this has been around again for like 10 years. I'm just now starting to use it. I'm like, fuck. And that's what we got to start using.
I have that shit that comes to my work phone and I just ignore it. It's like, to make it to this appointment, you have to leave now. I'm like,
I'm never making it to any appointment, you dumb bitch. And you click off your phone.
I'm not going to make it to that one because I'm elbow deep in someone else's fucking ass doing working some bullshit other
working
thing.
overtime.
Yeah. I mean,
Get to the
You
work
guys know
and
what I do,
overtime
right?
part.
I'm not a proctologist or anything.
My elbow deep in someone's head.
It just sounded funny. Elbow deep in
that is
brabbles.
good. But yeah,
I'm not gonna make that schedule. Like a computer made that for me. I'm not gonna do that.
I'm just like
always.
Yeah. I'm like totally. And then I got there because I was like already leaving. It's like, oh, you need to leave in like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm on my way. And then
I'm on my way.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this is great. I'm like, that's a great way to be organized. The technology is there, and I just sometimes just choose to ignore it.
Yeah,
and then we'll like definitely. Even like, how do we make a set list? Okay, we make a set list and we like screenshot it and send it to each other, or like, oh, I'll print it out. And I'm like, yeah, you just send us that. I'm like, we have like the technology. And then even Adam like named our group text just in case. Instead of saying what you're texting Brian Gower and Brian Rash, he's like, oh, I'm texting just in case now. I'm like, what? Technology is here. Anyways, I thought that was like, it's not that big a deal, but I was like, whoa, shit's crazy.
Whoa, bro.
Whoa, dude, that's fucking sick. And also, I gave myself a shitty haircut this week.
Nice.
Yeah, like,
isn't that like your MO? Don't you always do that?
If I give my because I was like, I kind of like. My hair is longer on the top, and then it was longer in the back. And I was like, oh, fuck it. Like, the back and side just get sweaty. The back especially. So I'm like, I think it was like 2 or 3 inches. So I'm like, fuck it. I just gave myself a 4 all around the back and the sides. And it looks like, I'm like, wow, that looks pretty stupid. The whole top.
Do you look like broccoli now? Like
yeah, kind of like VeggieTales
I always
or
see
whatever.
people with that with like they peel off curly hair and they have like to the skin on the sides. I'm like,
do we ever say
you look like a broccoli stalk, dude?
Did I ever say that? My hair is curly because I haven't like straightened it in a while. I haven't done any like product in it in like months.
All natural, dude.
Yeah, all
that's
natural.
The way we like
my hair is wavy, and I'm like, wow, I guess I never knew that about myself. Or maybe. Is that like now that like I'm older, it changes? Or no, it's probably just because I don't.
Guess it could, but then haven't you always like straightened your hair?
Yeah, I've always done it, and it's always kind of like it's never been this wavy. But
yeah, it's probably just, hasn't been trained, you know.
Yeah, it's wild now.
Wild.
And so people are like, wow, your hair's curly. I'm like, I didn't do anything to it. They're like,
shut up, I know.
It's like. No, that's why I was like, oh, I just don't do anything. Like, oh, well, it must be nice to have like volume to your hair. I'm like, all right.
This is awkward.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to do with this conversation.
Cool.
And then I'm like, oh, I don't even wear hats anymore. I'm like, my hair is just going. But I was getting sweaty. It was all in the back, and I was getting like, like you get pimples in your hair.
Yeah, I get them because I, like you said, sweat.
Yeah, so I'm
ton.
And so I'm like, okay. And so I just gave myself a 4 on the sides and on the back, and I'm like, wow, this does not look good. I'm like, hopefully it will grow out, but it's gonna look like shit for a couple weeks.
Give yourself a penis haircut.
Exactly. Yeah, I got the Lego man penis hair.
Instead of to the skin, it's to the shaft. Yeah, cut it all the way down to the shaft.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll wear a hat for a couple days here.
Why don't you do that? Cover that shit up.
But yeah, because I didn't want to cut the top because I like the long hair on the top.
There are children here.
Yeah, so
Mr. Penis Head.
Yeah, I think my hair is probably not the longest it's ever been, but it's mainly it goes down to my past my mouth here. But
oh dang,
I think I'm gonna let it ride.
Well, shit, is that your what's new or what?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll get a legit haircut if I, I don't know, go out for a job interview or whatever.
Yeah?
Anybody ever fucking calls me back? No, we've heard your podcast. We don't want you or your reliability.
Yeah, we don't want...
But, yeah, that was me.
Shame yourself.
Yeah, just get the wall cutters and just fucking. And I'm like, oh, that looks terrible. Yep. Anyways, good thing you didn't pay for that.
This is my life
haircut.
now. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, along what's new for both of us, but let's jump into a topic. What do you say?
Let's do it. What you got?
Okay, so this is a topic, and probably a loose one that we can kind of riff on or whatever. But going to shows and seeing bands or whatever, has there ever been like an opening band that you like really dug, or one that you liked more than the headliner, or one that you went to see instead of the headliner, or maybe you went to go see the headliner and like the opener more or something, whatever. So kind of like talking about that. There's usually the big band on the bill. So I got a couple like different scenarios, but what about for you? Have you ever been to a show and you like the headliner more than the opener more than the headliner?
Yeah. So let's see. I went and saw Plus 44 one time.
Yeah.
The only time they ever played San Diego, I think.
Mm-hmm. Is that Soma, right?
Is it Soma? And the Matches played.
Yeah.
And it was they were promoting their Decomposer record.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, it was great. It was, and I had never seen, I'd never seen them live before. It was awesome to see. And since there are a bunch of bros there to see, Tom DeLonge, they were getting like heckled and stuff. Just people being douchebags.
Or Mark Hoppus, yeah.
Oh, what did I say?
Tom DeLonge.
Oh, damn.
Plus 44 was Travis Barker and Mark Hoppus.
Yeah.
And then two other guys. Honestly, they are two other guys, because like I think people have looked it up, and like the other guy is just like, I'm a real estate agent now.
Well, yeah, I think they were from other big like LA bands or something, like punk bands that they toured with at one point.
Yeah,
and then dropped off the face of the earth, and they picked them back up for that band, and then they dropped them again.
Yeah.
We'll take you far. Just kidding.
Psych.
Got him. So I saw, the matches were great. And Plus 44 was fine. Just, it was great to see. That was the first time I'd ever seen the matches. I've always listened to, they had Yvonne Dahl Killed the Locals.
Mm-hmm.
That record was great. They, played Warped Tour, had some Warped Tour comps and other things, and they were on it. And I'd never seen them. It was really cool to see them and play. Decomposer was like its own beast.
Yeah, it was totally like different than Yvonne Dahl. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Such a strange record. Like, it's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
And they killed it live even. And then it was cool. I got a which you don't get from like a headlining band. You don't get to talk to the people. Like the guitarist was out out on the Soma, like the Soma lobby.
Yeah.
He was like walking around like selling the new record. And because, he's hustling, he's trying to make money because I think they were playing like 2 or 3 shows with him. They're from, Northern California, so they're on their own dime. They're on Epitaph, right? But I'm sure Epitaph is like, we don't give a fuck. We put out your record, so you can pay for everything else.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see that, talk to him, and just get like a human feel for,
the band and stuff.
And it had like an actual conversation with the guy. And like, I still remember it was pretty cool. But yeah, it was cool to see them, and it was great. And like I was saying, Plus 44 did good, but it's like they are, I don't know, they were like, what's the word? Like sanitized, like they were not sanitary. They didn't really wow anything. It wasn't very.
They playing it safe.
Yeah, it was basically that. Mm-hmm. And matches were great. So I don't remember what year that was. It was like 08, maybe 07.
Yeah, something like that. I think must have been just out of high school, I think.
Yeah. It was great though. It was great to see that. You got one?
Yeah. So, I guess the whole show was really cool, but seeing the Flatliners open up for Hot Water Music was the first time I think I ever really started listening to the Flatliners. This must have been like when Spotify was kind of starting to like be a thing. Mm-hmm. Or maybe when I got a subscription at least. Cause I was like, I'm going to go see Dave Haas, and he's with the Flatliners. So Dave Haas was the middle, and then, Dave Haas and the Hot Water Music. Hot Water was headlining, Dave Haas middle, and then Flatliners opening. I'm like, okay, I've heard of this band Flatliners. And I talked to my buddy, Sean. He's like, Flatliners fucking suck. I don't really like them. I'm like, well, let me check them out. And then I started listening to them, and I think I jumped into like whatever their newest one was, which was
Dead Language or something.
Yeah. And then it started off with like Resuscitation of the Year. I'm like, oh my god, this whole it's so killer. I'm like, oh my God. And I started
amazing.
Listen to the shit out of that album. And then I'm like, well, I wonder if their older stuff is good too. And I went listen to like Cavalcade. And then basically I went to go see the show. So it was basically that week I was just binging only the Flatliners. And I saw them, like, I was so excited. I'm like, this band is killer. And I happened to see him twice on that tour because I saw him once in San Diego and then once in Orange County. And then, because Orange County, it was a show where Dave Haas had his full band, and where San Diego, he just played
acoustic.
So it was totally two different shows, but Flatliners both times. And Flatliners, like, people weren't as stoked on them, I guess. There was like maybe like, a full house that they played in front of in San Diego, but like probably like 20 to 30 people that were just like stoked on them,
Yeah.
And so I kind of really got up to like the front and kind of was just watching them, and like, I'm like, oh, I really dug it. And I remember seeing them, and they killed it. And then it was always the drummer was so funny because he was just like stoned out of his mind.
Yeah.
To where he's playing so fucking fast, and the way his cymbals are so high up. So I'm like, that's got to be so bad for your shoulders. But he's just going so fast. He's like, ga, 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 and I'm like,
doing double time.
But he would just stare into the crowd, like his face, like jaw open, and just stare. And like sometimes he would just like because I was up front, like one of the like people right up to the stage, he just lock eyes to me, and I'm like, and then he realizes, and then we both look away. Because he's just like playing. That's what I remember the most. Is like the stage is maybe like 20 feet away, or like drummer was 20 feet away at the most, and he's just like going as fast as he fucking can. He's playing really well, and then he's just staring, and then he looks at somewhere else. And I'm like, they were so good. That's one thing I remember. I'm like, what the fuck, the guy. And then when we saw him in Orange County, he still was doing the same thing on a bigger stage, and I'm like, dude, they're so good. So the Flatliners, I love Dave Haas, and I kind of went to go for that, and then Hot Water was great, but I was blown away and so excited to see, and I'm so happy I saw the Flatliners. Love that band, great band. Hopefully they come to San Diego and they go on tour again. Hopefully they'll come to Texas.
Yeah,
they haven't done anything in the U.S. in a long time. I think obviously since COVID.
Yeah, well, all right, we won't get into it, but yeah, it's crazy up there.
Yeah.
Crazy everywhere, Brian.
Yeah.
So let's see another. I guess when I went to Riot Fest, you have like the big closers at the end of the night every night, and I had I think it was the second or I don't know, maybe it's the third day. I think it was the third day. I was like rocked out. It was like 3 days of just noise,
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd seen either Brand New. I mean, of course, that's my band,
Yeah.
But Blink was playing, and I was like, I don't really want to see. And I think Neighborhoods had just come out.
Okay, yeah.
So it was, Tom was in the band, and I, okay, cool. See the band.
Yeah.
Saw him play like maybe 4 or 5 songs, and I was like, all right, well, I think that, and it's funny. That's my only time I've ever seen them on stage together. I've seen them. But I was like so not disappointed. I was just overwhelmed. I was like,
throughout the day,
yeah. And then it came, it's the last band of the night. They're playing. I'm like, to my wife, I'm like, you want to beat the crowds out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
she's like,
sucks.
You mean Blink, one of the biggest
this
fucking
your band?
inspirational bands to the genre that you play? And we can
like,
skedaddle. What do you say?
Go grab a Chicago deep dish somewhere. What do you want to do?
You're more excited about a deep dish than like, let's go catch Blink.
If I can grab some wings or maybe a sandwich somewhere, I don't care.
Or both. Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah. Hell yeah. No, so it was definitely not disappointing, like I said, but I just didn't actually give a shit.
Chicago dog somewhere.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Chicago dogs are pretty sick.
I don't think that's a thing, but that's a
Einstein,
right?
No, Chicago dog is a dog.
What is it? Wait, no, maybe I made that up. What the hell is a Chicago dog again?
It's got like a pepper in there.
Oh, that's what it is. Why did I think
like loaded?
What the hell's a Einstein bagels?
The relish is different.
Maybe it's just a bagel dog.
Oh yeah,
it's a hot dog on a bagel. That's sick. Anyways, what's
a hot dog in a bagel?
Yeah.
In a bagel.
Man, I want one of those.
Yeah. No, they're sick.
Yeah.
They're just loaded. So it's like, I think the relish is different. They use different
Okay, yeah. I think Chicago Dog's different. But anyways, so Blake, was there another band that you saw, or they were the headliner and then like everything else you were stoked on?
Yeah, I saw the whole show before, and
the whole goddamn show.
Oh God, did you listen? You fucking piece of shit.
That was probably a day you saw the Deer Hunter, right?
Yeah, I think maybe it was the second day because I think I saw. Yeah, and fuck, I missed the Flatliners. That I should have seen them.
Well, you saw Chuck Reagan, Deer Hunter, and stuff like that. You're like, yeah, I saw a lot. And you're like, then Blaine comes on, you're like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is like day 3, the last band playing, I think it was, maybe. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the lineup. If we want, call back the minutes. Let's bring this up.
bring up the fucking
2013
the archives
Riot
or whatever,
Fest. Yeah. Riot Fest.
Yeah, no, for sure, I get it.
Yeah, so I totally skipped out on them. I was like, Thanks for all the memories. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, there was one that we saw. We went to Hollywood, or no, it wasn't Hollywood. It was up in LA, Echo Park area. We went to go see. I think I dragged you to go see Dave Haas. He played with his full band, and then a solo opener opened up the show.
Shit, yeah.
And I don't think he was better, but he was great. I mean, I think you liked him better than Dave Haas.
I think he was
Northcote.
I still think he's amazing.
Oh, great solo artist. And then he has a band. Yeah. But the band is Northcote, but he tours, like, at least in the US. He's from Canada, so he's easier for him just to come down. And he killed it so good. Just one guy, and it's like, cool, I'm the direct opener for Dave Haas and his band.
Yeah.
And he killed it.
His lyrics are so inspirational and just like, I don't know.
He just
hard to describe.
Belts it out, and he's like, giving that guitar hell. And then he's a giant dude.
He's like 6'8".
Yeah.
He's got to be at least 6'8".
Yeah.
He's like the 6'8" great, just like Dr. Dis.
Yeah. So I don't think he was better, but he was a killer opener, and I was so happy. I bought his album. I was so happy to see him, listen to him. It's killer. I'm like, that makes me think, I'm like, I need to go back and listen to that album. Like,
oh man,
but he's got a bunch of good albums. So definitely Northcote. That was a good one. I guess like one where the openers just, I don't know, I guess sucked compared. This is now the opposite side. So
okay, we're doing that now.
Yeah. I got a couple. They're both like Green Day related. I guess I saw a Green Day show when they did American Idiot, and it was Sugar Cult, New Found Glory, and Green Day. Killer. Yeah. Great. Bangers all around. And then I'm like, okay, cool. This is one of my first Green Day shows. I'm like, this is what Green Day is. So awesome. I love the band. I love the shows. And I go see him again, and it was like Franz Ferdinand was the only opener for Green Day. I'm like,
damn.
What? I'm like, what? And that made me realize, I'm like, oh, so just record companies just pay to be on these shows. Okay, got it. I'm like, there's I don't know. There's not Green Day fans who are into like American Idiot. I'm like, oh man, I'm so stoked. I'm going to buy Franz Ferdinand's album. That's not the audience for you. Yes, there's people there.
They have one song that everyone knows that everyone hates.
And then it ended with like, I think I was like 15, 16, something like that. And it ended with all 4 of them starting to do like a drum circle kind of thing.
Oh no.
And I was like, at the time I was like, this is kind of cool. And now looking back on it, I would hate that.
what
like 15-year-old me would be like, okay, that's different.
Yeah, and now knowing more about music, I
was like, that's fucking annoying.
That's a hack thing.
Yeah. So that was a terrible opener. I'm like, and then I saw Green Day again. I think you were there.
Yeah.
AFI was the only opener.
They weren't terrible,
but it's just like nobody gave a shit.
Yeah. You hear people talking over them.
Yeah,
because they weren't playing like they're playing like almost like a different PA setup.
Yeah, or maybe not the full mains, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't the full. Definitely wasn't.
And it was like, I was like, I like AFI. I like some AFI, but I can't just like, I don't rock them all the time. There's probably
yeah. Davey Havoc looks so different. I didn't even know it was AFI. I was like, because I don't remember it being even like labeled as AFI. I thought it was just, maybe because I was just a hanger on to you. Yeah. I didn't know who was playing. And so I'm like,
I was like,
they're playing. Yeah, they're playing AFI. Why are they playing AFI? And then
it's
like
a cover band.
Yeah. Like, Oh, that is. I'm like, oh shit, that is AFI.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Davey Hat because you're not standing 4 feet away from the guy, and they had just gone from super long emo hair to like short, like Lego man haircut, type thing, and I'm like, oh, he almost had like a pixie cut haircut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
I'm like, that fits him. Yes,
it was okay, and they luckily only played like 30 minutes or really short set, and then they were like gone, and then all right, here's Green Day.
Yeah. Well, I brought you and Carrie to a brand new show where they did the old switcheroo on everybody, where it was like, oh, if you know music, right, you know that. That sounds so stupid to say. If you know Modest Mouse, they're bigger than a lot of bands.
Yeah.
You've probably heard of Modest Mouse before you've heard of Brand New, right?
Yeah.
And that's how they had the ticket is like, they had like a couple bands. I think it was Kevin Devine, and then it was Brand New, and then it was Modest Mouse. Looked like they were going to close the night out. And then once the show started, it was Kevin Devine, Modest Mouse, and then Brand New. I'm like, oh. So we had to sit through some god-awful fucking, bullshit trumpets and like a dude screaming, wow, like doing like Talking Heads bullshit.
Yeah, I think we were like, oh well, Modest Mouse has to headline.
Yeah,
so we're gonna watch
the bigger band.
We're gonna watch Brand New, and then we'll get some of those.
We'll get out of here before the mosquitoes come out.
Yeah, we'll get some of those fucking deep dish pizzas. What do you say?
We're still in San Diego. We could find something. We get up to no good.
Yeah, get some deep dish and Chicago dogs. What do you say?
You want to get some fucking deep dish?
And
shit!
And you wink at both Carrie and I. Let's get some deep dish.
With my left eye and my right eye.
Bing, bing, ding, ding. One for each of us. And then it switches. Like, this ain't Brand New. Oh my god, we gotta sit through a fucking 50 minutes of this.
Oh yeah, because they played like their full like.
It was like it was like a double headline.
Yeah, exactly. But they played like they were headlining.
It was like an hour set for each.
Oh man,
and we're like,
so disappointing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't tell you.
So they were going. I'm like, all right.
The dashboard melted, but we still got the radio. Like, okay, that's Jesus Christ.
So I'm like, all right, piss break, beer break. Carrie, watch her stuff.
For 50 minutes, yeah.
We're just like, chug a lug, chug a lug.
Some trouble. Yeah.
Maybe someone say hi ho.
Yeah, it was definitely disappointing,
right,
but
that's
a good one.
$20 Coors Light. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, Coors. I don't really like Coors.
Yeah, it's fine.
But it's good.
Bud Light is good. Miller Lite's best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Miller Heavy.
I haven't had that in a while.
I got fridge full of them. You should come by and grab them.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Just like leave the podcast. But yeah, I don't know. There can be, I don't know, like think of like openers that are better than the headliners, or vice versa too. There can be bad openers. And then I heard a buddy say, it was like, oh, sometimes they choose a shitty opener just so you like the headliner more. Like, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, it's like, how about you just do well?
How about you just have a good show? That could be something.
Yeah. We should start there.
Yeah, start with that. But yeah, I don't know. You got anything else, Dan?
No, that's it.
All right. But that was a good one. A little chopping back and forth there. Let's get on out of here. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Just want to say thanks for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. If you like what you hear,
thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. If you like what you hear, you can follow along on social media. We have a Facebook
group.
Facebook group. Search the Tone Jerks. Yeah, you'll
Facebook
find it.
Group.
Linked in the description. And then we have an Instagram at the Tone Jerks. Linked in the description as well. And if you really like the show, you can help support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But if you double down for $2 a month, you get an extra episode every week. And then you get an RSS feed.
If you want it or not, it's there.
Yeah, you get an RSS feed where you can put the podcast in your favorite podcatcher, and you can listen to all the past bonus episodes. And, like I think we've said it before, a sneaky, if you want to be sneaky, Sneaky. You can pay the $2 a month, and you just download all 200
Don't
Patreon
tell 'em
episodes,
that.
and then you can cancel and then come back in 2 years.
We already had someone pull the wool over our eyes like that.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's a thief. He's a thief.
No, you're not. You're just
She's a thief.
you're being thrifty. You could do that with
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
with like you could do
We're
that with
stoked on
Tim
on
Dillon.
anything,
You could do
so.
that with Matt and Shane. You could do that with all these podcasts. Just pay like a couple bucks, get their steal
I
them
finally
all.
started listening to was it Matt and Shane's podcast?
Yeah.
Like the Patreon. I've been paying for like 7 or 8 months.
It's so good.
And I've only listened to one episode, and it was like the other day when I was building that goddamn fucking piece of furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, let me throw the podcast on. I bet because they obviously in the main episode they reference like, oh wait a minute, hold on, we might get Billy on. We might get Billy on for this one. I'm like,
they had Billy on the page this past week.
Yeah,
they talk about the crazy frog. That's what Billy likes to listen to.
It's so dumb.
Ding ding. Just it's like it was so stupid. Anyway, so we have our own fun on the Patreon, and you can help support us over there. Patreon.com/theToneJerks. But just for the support, we want to give you a huge shout out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle, you got a list over there?
You got it right here?
No, you got it on your computer. You can read it, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I can read it.
I don't know if I can read it. I have the ability
readings in
to.
quotations, by the way.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, why don't you give it to you?
You ever read the Bible, my son? Like, Can you read? Can you read, my boy? Well, that depends. Can you fuck off?
Can you fuck off?
Can you fuck off? All right, we have Andrew Walsh. Yeah, perfect. Canadian, well-mannered Andrew Walsh.
Yeah,
from Andrew's Alcove. In that same area, actually. Abe Newman, Michael Newman, Nicholas Payson, Nicholas Ogburn, Doug King, Doug Christ from 37 Effects, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and Just Surprise Me. See, I mean, I kind of stumbled over that a little bit.
You got it.
Masters of the Cinematic Universe.
He's from the...
He's from the Mac.
Yeah.
Did you say MacBook Pro?
He's from the...
Joe from Like My Pedals. Just Surprise Me. That's a podcast. And Masters of the Cinematic Universe also.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say. I think because I want to say it fast, but I don't want to slow down. We also have Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me podcast. Also, we have Teletalks, aka RJ Smith. Did I say that right? Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
He's of Teletalks fame. We have Jamie Davis. We have Johnny Ray, which I think that was Howie Felter-Snatch.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't change that on here.
Oh, yeah, you have your own list. You're not reading off the website.
Yeah. No. No, dude, or offline, dude. We're running offline.
Yeah.
More reliable that way. Actually, no. Jason Fuzzmonger. Steve Mike from Hardly Human. Steve Ralph from 60 Cycle Hum. Click Track. Kevin Equits from Equits Guitars. Yeah, we like to... Never mind. Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers podcast.
And we do things out of time here.
I know. We're
following our own beat.
Yeah.
You could... Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Off taste and out of time. That's us.
Catching a beat.
Yeah. In mean streets, catching a beat. You know what I'm saying? Wait, did I say Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers podcast? I did now.
Yeah.
Alvaro Viramontes. Brian Nutter of Nutter Guitars. Mel Chipson of Chipson Guitars. I hear those guys are doing a collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop. Sean Fahey. Sean Wright from Lollygagger Effects. Juan Ortiz from Tone Hungry Effects. Mike Oxbig.
There you go.
You know what? I'm in my own house. I can say it. Mike Oxbig. There you go. See? I can will it into existence if I say it.
Your neighbor knocks on the door. Oh, hello.
Excuse me. Would you keep it down? Hugh G-Rection.
There you go.
Followed by Eli It's Tiny.
Eli.
Followed Eli It's Tiny. No, it's Italian, not Jamaican.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I ruined your bit. Zach Hale. Eric Merrill from Elm Effects.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's got a rad YouTube channel. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Scott Hamilton from the Effects Loop podcast. Tim Nowick from Bardic Audio Devices. Jonathan Jeruzik from 12th Hour Devices. Tyler Rines from Tyler Casey Riffs.
It's weird having it back in this order. I'm like, it feels like home.
It's better. It's better, yeah. It feels like home.
It feels like home.
It's like at the end of Homeward Bound, where they're hugging and they're back to normal.
This fucking stupid animals. You fucking dumb fuck. You fucked
I
up your
love
own.
that movie.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Like they fuck up everything. I'm like, you could have just stayed.
Yeah.
When they get lost.
They were moving. Hey,
drown, fucking get hit by porcupines, fucking.
Yeah, dude, I remember that shit.
Fucking fall in a ditch or whatever.
Fall down doesn't she fall over a waterfall?
Yeah. Sally Field.
What's the cat's name? Yeah, Sally Field. What's the cat's name though?
I don't know.
I know Chance was the
Michael J.
white.
Fox.
Yeah, the white dog.
Yeah,
like the boxer style dog, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's another movie we need to watch.
Yeah, we should.
I'm sure that movie sucks.
Yeah, it does. Next time we're on Masters of the Cinematic Universe.
Just tell
we're doing
every
Homeward
shitty
Bound
movie to watch. We go on there. I'm like, you remember Homeward Bound? Let's watch that. No, blocked.
Oh well, you're missing out.
I'm gonna have my own podcast. It's just you and I watching it.
It's a jack of all trades of the Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
All right. We got Matthew Fenslaw, Michael McVeigh, and we got a new one actually. It's Matthew Davis. We're stoked on that.
Matthew Davis. There you go. It's like Jamie Davis and Matthew Fenslaw.
Yeah.
They did the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z, and they formed.
It's a dance.
Yeah. And they formed
the TikTok dance.
Matthew Davis. Yeah. I like it. Well, thank you so much.
Everybody liked us so much that they just made an account.
Could be. Who knows? But thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for the support. We love you. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.